Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my physics show. This is our Rise Physics Show number 2 that you're watching, and unlike the other physics shows that I'll ever be showing, this one is going to take it one step further. You're never going to see this anywhere else, whether it's on my channel or anywhere else in the world. This is something that you don't want to miss at all, because we're going to be talking about, does the universe have a fourth dimension? And I'm not talking about the smell or the smell dimension. No, there's no such thing. Smell isn't a dimension at all. That's just part of the first, second, and third dimensions. What inspired me to do this is actually, strangely enough, this show called The Berenstain Bears, and The Berenstain Bears is just some sort of child show. It's started off with books, and yeah, that's basically it. The Berenstain Bears, that's how everyone said it. Berenstain. But it's actually spelled, according to the history in this universe, S-T-A-I-N. There's no S-T-E-I-N anywhere. It says that there's no history suggesting any such thing. And that's very odd because the majority of us who have grown up with it remember it as Steen. No, everyone pronounced it as Berenstain, and everyone remember it as being spelled S-T-E-I-N. So that just raises the argument that is there a parallel universe or some sort of wacky thing like that? Well, let's debug this. So wish me luck on this. We might be going on to a very good start, or this might just end up as some sort of gobbledygook, so who knows? Now, this is the first time that I've ever made a video in this sort of fashion. This is like the Mitchell's Magic Physics World fashion, so yeah, I have a camera right here and a worksheet right below. So we're going to fill this all up. Now, in the universe that we have, we all can agree on the fact that there are 3 dimensions. There is the vertical dimension, there is the horizontal dimension, and there's the other dimension. Alright, this is on paper, but just see it as, just try to see it as 3 dimensions. You can go one direction, you can go the direction perpendicular to it, and you can go the direction vertically perpendicular. So that's 3 dimensions. Okay, that's simple, right? Now, in our universe, we have matter, we have volume, we have mass, and then we have time. Now, what is time actually? This is a legitimate question I have. What is time? Like, time passes in our universe, we know that, but really, how does that even work? Why doesn't everything just happen in one flash? So, yeah, these are the things that we just can't explain. It's just there because that's how it works. There's just no current explanation we can have right now. So, but time does, I would say, according to what I'm thinking right now, is that time, it affects the value of the 4th dimension that I'm saying. The universe could have 4 dimensions, actually, or perhaps even more, maybe an infinite number of dimensions, but in this video we're going to just refer that it has 4 dimensions. Now, from now on, let's just refer to this video. In this video, let's just refer that the 4th dimension is called the W dimension. You have X, Y, and Z, which are the physical dimensions that we can observe, and we have the W dimension. Oh, let's move it a little to the right. Dimension. Okay, we have the 4th dimension right there. We're going to refer to it as W. So, I do think that time affects this dimension. I'm not saying time is a dimension, but it contributes to the value of the W. So, everything in this universe, I can say, everything in the universe that we can observe, including ourselves, have the same value in this W dimension. So So yes, how I'm saying it is that, alright, let's just draw a graph right here. Okay, I really should have made a script for this, but here you go. What I'm theorizing is that the universe begins at an origin, and then it just splits apart into an infinite number of timelines. We're only going to display a few, maybe 5 or 6 of them, but in practice, there are actually an infinite number of dimensions, or not dimensions, infinite number of timelines. And this universe that we're living on is on one timeline. The timeline is where the W values change. The W as in the 4th dimension values change. So, and yes, let's just put you are here. Oh, that's a lousy Y right there. Y-O-U. Oh, gosh. Okay, I messed up the writing right there, but here's the idea. We're on one point of the timeline right here. So there are, as I said, there are an infinite number of timelines, and as time passes, the W values change, right? So yes. So yes, as let's just visualize as the timelines, they just spread apart as time continues. So when the time is the same right here, at this point, the time on this timeline is right here, and here, 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 and here. And as time passes, we just move farther away from the origin. And remember that there are an infinite number of timelines. So let's just point out that these timelines never intersect. They're always going in one direction. They're never bending in any way. If that ever happens, well, this theory doesn't work at all. So yes. Now, let's just bring up this argument right here. Alright. When the time passes, the W value changes. All the matter in this universe, it has the same x, y, and z values as the W value changes as time passes, but for the exception of kinetic energy that all this matter has, that's the only thing that changes the x, y, and z dimension values. So yes. Now this raises one more issue. So according to this, time travel is not possible because if the W value is constantly changing on each of the timelines, that means that we can't actually go back in time because that's when the W value was different. The W value back then was different, and it's always changing. It's always like changing like that. So you can only hop on to a different timeline that is at the same point of time, but you can't go, let's say, this direction. You can't go back in time. You can't go forward in time as well. You can only go onto different timelines at the same time. So now the question I have is that how did this Berenstain Bear, how did this sort of phenomenon happen? Well, what I believe is that, okay, let's just get a fresh piece of paper right here. That, let's say we have a timeline. We have a timeline the Steen timeline, and we have another timeline called the Stain timeline. So, what I'm thinking which may have happened is that a lot of us were originally on the Steen timeline, and at some point, we just somehow got transferred to the Stain timeline. We're from the Steen timeline, but we're on the Stain timeline. This is a completely different universe because it's a different timeline. So now we've sort of progressed a little through, so we're kind of now at this point now. And if we're trying to research on what the name of the Berenstain Bears are, or Berenstain Bears are, we're going to find nothing that suggests that it has Steen, because that information is found in a different universe. It's found in a different timeline. All we have here is the Stain information. Yes. So, yeah, that's pretty much the information that I've got. There could be different timelines where the Berenstain Bears didn't exist, or whether it had different spelling, like for the name. It could be Berenstain Bear, where it has like A-I-O-U, so then there's no sort of issue with spelling. But no, it's just Stain and Steen that we're talking about here. So, yeah, that's... Oh god, did I smudge my finger? Damn it. Okay, so that's all I have right here. And yeah, I hope I explained this well. I hope that maybe this is making a bit more sense. But, well, who knows? Huh. Okay, well, now please... I know that I probably definitely just contradicted a million things in the physics world, but yeah, feel free to comment on this, but please don't discourage me from these. Just tell me any sort of opinions that you have right here. And, well, be a bit more, let's be constructive. If you have a different theory, please comment it. I'd like to hear it. So, other than that, have a great Saturday. Have a great weekend. Have a great life. Okay?